Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ako si Olive Grace Gongora, mag-aaral na nasa ika-12 baitang mula sa Malig National High School, Malig District. Isang korona na nagpabago sa ating pamumuhay. Isang hugis corona na virus na nagmula pa sa China at kalaunan ay naipasa na rin sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. Marami ang napektuhan nitong aspeto ng ating pamumuhay. Ngunit bilang isang mag-aaral, ang mga pagbabagong dulot ng COVID-19 ay damang-dama namin sa pag-aaral. Ang makiayon at siguraduhing matuto sa bagong sistema na kung tawagin ay New Normal in Education ay isang mahirap na hamon para sa amin, sapagkat ibang-iba ang pagkatuto ng may kasamang guro at iba rin ang sariling pagkatuto sa loob lamang ng bahay. Ngunit sa patuloy na pagdaan ng mga quarters ng school year, patuloy rin ang pagbuo ng SDO Isabela ng mas maayos at epektibong sistema sa pag-aaral upang maging produktibo ang aming pag-aaral sa kabila ng pandemya. Maraming pagbabago ang dinala ng COVID, ngunit may mga paraan ang DepEd upang ito'y labanan. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pagbuo rin ng mga mabisang pagbabago sa sistema ng edukasyon upang matiyak na walang mag-aaral ang maiiwan. Isa sa sandata ng SDO Isabela upang labanan ang COVID-19 ay ang Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela program, na nagsusulong ng pagkatuto sa pamamagitan lamang ng pakikinig gamit ang mga gadgets tulad na lamang ng cellphone, laptop at maging ang radyo. Mapapakinggan rito ang iba't ibang learning episodes upang ang aming pag-aaral ay maging mas accessible. Sa pagtatapos ng school year, naging kaagapay kong RBI sa aking learning journey sapagkat sa pakikinig lamang ay natututo ako at nadadagdagan ang aking kaalaman na makakatulong sa akin sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon at kahit sa hinaharap upang maabot ang aking mga layunin at pangarap. Sa Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, tuloy ang EduAction.
Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable. Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defend school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable.
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible.
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate.
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we'll be talking about rational functions.
Simplify.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is DepEd School Radio's Senior High School On-Air
On-Air
Academy.
And now, here's your new episode for English Exactly. Your guide for the subject English for academic and professional purposes.
English exactly.
English Exactly.
An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Never let this pandemic stop you in pursuing your dreams. Thank you for always being our learning partner with us here at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. I believe in you, my dear learners. I know you can do it. As always, it's a great honor to be with you. I am your radio teacher, Rosalyn, your guide for today's episode.
Yay!
So, listen attentively and have fun!
Okay!
How are you, my dear grade 11 learners? Are you now ready for another learning journey? That's awesome! As we begin, may I hear a loud hooray?
Yay!
That's the spirit! Today, learners, you are expected to familiarize yourselves with gathering information from surveys, experiments, or observations, and summarizing findings and executing the report through narrative and visual or graphic forms. But first, let us have a short recap. What is a survey? That is right! It is a method of gathering information from a sample of people. traditionally with the intention of generalizing the results to a larger population. What about experiment? Yes, it is a procedure carried out to support, refute, or validate a hypothesis. And lastly, what is observation? Very good! It is a systematic data collection approach where researchers use all their senses to examine people in natural settings or naturally occurring situations. You are really attentive, my dear learners! Now, it's time to check your answers to the quiz during our previous interaction. Your task was to write T if the statement is true, and if it is false, change the underlined word with the correct one. So here are the answers. Number 1, true. Number 2, false. Change the word into experiment. Number 3, true. Number 4, false. Change into non-participant. And number 5, false. Change into note-taking. That's it! Did you answer each item correctly? You are really great! But before we proceed with our next lesson, listen first to this important reminder.
Now that we are in the new normal, let us practice new things. Observe social and physical distancing at all times. Disinfect our things. Let our temperature be checked. Always wash your hands with soap and water. Use hand sanitizers. Avoid crowded places. And always wear your face mask and face shield. Always remember these things because health is wealth. Let us beat COVID-19. A reminder from the Department of Health, Department of Education, and this station.
Hola! We are back! Are you ready, learners? Oh, yeah! Who among you like doing research? How about those who love watching K-drama? Do we have bikers here? Do you love watching anime? Maybe you have raised your hands as I ask these questions. Do you know that this is one way of taking a survey? That's right! Have you tried doing a survey? Maybe yes and maybe no. Now, what again is a survey? You are right! A survey is a method of gathering information from a sample of people, traditionally with the intention of generalizing the results to a larger population. It measures characteristics of interest about a population using a sample selected from the population. A sample needs to be representative of the population in order for the measurements obtained from the sample to be accurate. In addition, random sampling is generally the best way to ensure presentation. Even when random sampling is used, a survey results can have errors. Any idea about the sources of errors in a survey? Will you name the first one? Incredible! We have biased questions. And what is a biased question? are questions that are phrased or expressed in such a way that it influences the respondent's opinion. Remember, learners, the wording of questions in a survey can influence the way people respond to them. So, survey questions need to be worded in a neutral, unbiased way. How about the second one? Magnificent! It is interviewer effect. Do you have any idea what this is? Right! It is when an interviewer asks the question in a survey, the person being interviewed may give inaccurate responses to avoid being embarrassed or sometimes not comfortable in giving answers to questions. Okay, let us proceed to the third one. Definitely, it is non-response. It is when the respondents or participants do not give any response to the survey. It is inevitable because some people may be difficult to contact or they may simply refuse to participate once contacted. If non-response rates are higher for certain subgroups of a population, then those subgroups will be underrepresented in the survey results. Now, learners, I have here tips on how you are going to gather information through survey. 1. Determine your objectives. 2. Select respondents. 3. Create a data analysis plan. 4. Develop the survey. 5. Pre-test the survey. 6. Distribute and conduct the survey. 7. Analyze the data. And 8. Report the results. Did you get them all? Perfect! Now, let's proceed with observational study. Can you tell me what it means? Incredible! The researchers determine whether an existing condition, called a factor, in a population is related to a characteristic of interest. As we know, observation is a data collection method by which you gather knowledge of the research phenomenon through making observations of the phenomena as and when it occurs. For instance, an observational study might be used to find the incidence of heart disease among those who smoke. In the study, being a smoker is the factor. The having heart disease is the characteristic of interest. Quite easy, right? Brilliant! Now, how about in an experiment? That is right! Here, researchers create a condition by imposing a treatment on some of the subjects of the experiment. Experiments enable researchers to control variables, leading to additional conclusions. For instance, an experiment might be conducted by having some people with eczema taking a vitamin E pill every day, and then observing whether their symptoms improve. In the experiment, taking the vitamin E pill is the treatment, And improving of symptoms is the characteristic of interest. Crystal clear? That's the spirit. So, after collecting the data, let us now summarize the findings and execute the report through narrative and visual or graphic forms. Isn't that cool? Oh, yeah! My dear learners, one of the most important aspects of academic writing is making sure of the ideas of other people. This is important as you need to show that you have understood the materials and that you can use their ideas and findings in your own way. You can either paraphrase if you want to keep the length the same, summarize if you want to make the text shorter. You heard it right, dear learners. You may use the other writer's idea, but do not copy as it is. What do we call the act of copying other people's work and treating it as your own? You got it right. It is plagiarism. But of course, borrowed information can be summarized. What then is a summary? Magnificent! A summary is a shortened version of a text. It contains the main points in the text and is written in your own words. It is a mixture of reducing a long text to a short text and selecting relevant information. Summarizing is useful when you are using the work of others to support your own view. Have you tried writing a summary? I bet you have, because this has been part of your life as a student. Learners, a good summary shows that you have understood the text. Please remember, though, that even when you summarize someone's work, you must acknowledge the writer. Other than writing a summary, one way to shorten an explanation is through a visual summary. Creating a visual summary for your report is similar to writing its executive summary, but uses visuals and graphics to aid in communication of your key information. It may be integrated within the full report or as a separate piece to be shared as a handout or posted online. It can be a great tool for engaging audiences in your key findings, especially ones who may not have read or have taken the time to read your full report. Thus, I have here tips for you in creating an effective summary. 1. Take the time to plan before creating. 2. Focus on communicating key findings, not methodology. 3. Translate your findings by putting them in context. 4. Make sure graphics enhance understanding. And 5. Keep it simple. That's it, learners! Are you still with me? Oh, yeah! If you are, may I hear a loud clap from you? Wow! Still alert as always, my dear learners! Now, let's have a short recap of our discussion. What would you call this term that measures characteristics of interest about a population using a sample selected from the population? Awesome! It's a survey. What about when researchers determine whether an existing condition called a factor in a population is related to a characteristic of interest? Very good! And when researchers create a condition by imposing a treatment on some of the subjects of the experiment, this is called... You're all good! It's an experiment. And lastly, it is a shortened version of a text which contains the main points in the text and is written in your own words. Brilliant! It's called a summary. Wow! You got everything right. I know you are now ready for an activity. Make sure that you are holding your pen and paper because we'll be right back after this short reminder.
I still feel sleepy.
Haven't you had enough sleep last night?
Yes, I didn't. I slept at around 11 o'clock last night and woke up at 5 in the morning.
But why? Don't you know that we, young ones, need 8 to 10 hours of sleep?
Is that so?
Yes, enough sleep will make us awake, alert, alive, and enthusiastic for the day. It will also make us healthier.
Thank you for telling me.
A reminder from the Department of Education, Department of Health, and this station.
EAPP is back! Are you ready, learners? Your enthusiasm is so remarkable. So, here's what you are going to do. Write true if the statement is true and false if it is not. Got it?
Okay!
Okay, let's start. Number 1. One of the most important aspects of academic writing is making use of the ideas of other people. Number 2. Summarizing is not useful when you are using the work of others to support your own view. Number 3. If an interviewer asks the questions in a survey, the person being interviewed may give inaccurate responses to avoid being embarrassed. Number 4. Researchers cannot create a condition by imposing a treatment on some of the subjects. Number 5. The wording of questions in a survey can influence the way people respond to questions. There you have it, my dear learners. I hope you have answered carefully since we'll find out about your scores next episode. I hope you have answered carefully since we'll find out about your scores next episode. That clinches another wonderful learning adventure with you. I hope you learned much from today's episode. Thank you for being with us here at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, your school away from school. On behalf of the scriptwriter, Teacher Emma Luisa M. Fernando, together with the whole SDO Isabela RBI production team, this is your ultimate ka-shiner and your radio teacher Rosalind saying, you can always do better. Stay safe!
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!